Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to share an overview of the E3 exam with you and the overall exam structure, as well as looking at ways in which you can increase your chances of passing your E3 exam. Let's dive in, shall we? First, we'll start by setting the scene and show you the 2020 to 2021's pass rate for the strategic level exams. And as you can see here on the screen, E3 had a substantially higher than average pass rate. So this should offer you some assurance that you've got a good chance of passing this exam. Now P3 and F3 on the other hand, they both have a very slightly higher than average pass rate. But fear not, because our students here at Practice Test Academy are most likely to be in that success bracket. Now let's have a look at the main objectives of the strategic level. Now, why is this level so important to the CIMA exam? For one, it's to equip you with long-term decision-making skills. And as well as that, it's to arm you with the skills that you need in order to manage risks that can be detrimental to businesses, for example. It also allows you to value organizations and to source the resources that are needed in order to implement successful strategic decisions. Now for the strategic level papers, the order in which you take the exams, it's down to you, but we do suggest starting with F3, then P3, and then last but not least E3. And the reason for this is because of the case study exam. Now see, there's a strategic decision already for you. The E3 paper, it's all about strategic management, such as formulating strategy for business. Now P3, it's all about risk management, such as analysing and managing strategic risks. And F3, it's all about financial strategy, which includes assessing organisational value. Please welcome our expert Pete, who's going to delve into the E3 syllabus in his video for you here.
E3 is all about where we want to be as a business and how we're going to get there. So essentially the structure of the course is optimistic. It's about what a business can do to grow and to flourish. And it's split into three main parts really. Where do we want to be? Where are we now? Understanding where we are now is a good starting point for ending up at where we want to be. And where we are now, we can think of the outside world, the environment, the competition and so on, and the inside world, internal analysis, our strengths and weaknesses. So we've got where we want to be, where we are now, and then how we're going to get there ultimately is our business strategy. We come up with ideas, which is essentially a creative process, but we have models and frameworks to help us generate ideas. And then we have ways of assessing those ideas to see which ones are better than others, using the concept of SAF, for example, suitable, acceptable and feasible. So we have methods and frameworks to work through to help whittle down our potential choices into one or maybe two other strategies for more detailed consideration. And then when we decide which strategy we're going to do, we need to put it in place, and that involves change management, which involves looking at people and projects and how we bring hearts and minds along with us as a business.
Let's look at the structure of the E3 exam. Now the E3 exam itself, it's computer-based. It's 90 minutes long and contains 60 questions. Try to allocate 1.5 minutes to each question with an average of 10 completed questions every 15 minutes. The pass mark is 100 out of 150, and there is no partial marking. So that means that all answers, they need to be complete. There's no scores for half complete answers. So if it asks you to complete 2 correct answers and you only complete 1, then you will not be marked for that. You will get your results immediately after the exam. So there's no waiting around for weeks on end to find out your results. And as you may already know, you can book these exams throughout the year. There are no set times in which you can sit your E3 exams. So what kind of questions will you expect to see on exam day? Now, some of the formats include multiple choice answer. Now, this means that you have to select a correct answer out of a group. And then you have multiple response. Now, this is similar to multiple choice, but this time you have to select more than one correct answer. Then you have a drag and drop, and this is where you drag an answer from a group into its correct space. A fill in the blank question type would mean that, for example, you may have to calculate your own answer and then enter it into the blank space. Let's have a look at some of the things that you can do during an exam if you're struggling to answer any of the questions. Now, first and foremost, try to eliminate answers that you know are wrong, then progressively work backwards using the options that you have left available. Figure out which one makes more sense when trying to get to the root of each one, and you may find that it could even trigger a reminder for you so that you can get that correct answer in your head. In the worst case scenario, if you do see two possible answers that are quite similar and you're really unsure, then one of them is often correct, though not always, but it does happen. If you're still stuck, flag that question and move on. Then near the end of your exam, in the last 5 minutes, go back and answer all flagged questions, even if that means you have to guess. Okay, for the E3 exam particularly, you have to keep these things in mind. Now, E3, it has longer question scenarios. There's more reading to do, and sometimes you even have to look for clues that are in the questions. You have to watch out for keywords as well that could possibly trap you, such as always and never. Now, make sure that you don't misunderstand the question and provide the opposite answer. Time management is so crucial. If a question is taking you too long to answer, flag it and move on. Try to guess that answer if you return to it later and you're still struggling. But the most important thing is don't leave any answers blank. So when you do start studying for the E3 paper, there are some things that you can do to make your approach more effective, such as booking your exam nice and early when you start studying and working towards that date. Knowing that you have a goal or a deadline to meet can really help you stay motivated. Practice mock exams from the start and do them on a computer under exam conditions. You should keep track of your time, or just make sure you're doing those mocks under timed conditions, such as the ones that we've got available here. Now, it probably goes without saying, but do cover the whole syllabus. Use your revision time wisely and do this on the outcome of exam practice. Now, focus on the areas where you lack knowledge in. Keep track of those questions and go back and redo them later. Just make sure that when you do start studying, you keep a diary, make a plan and stick to it. Give yourself regular breaks and get some fresh air between sessions. Keep taking computer-based mock exams and complete them regularly. Do this until you're consistently passing them. That's when you'll know your exam ready. We have everything you need and so much more here at Practice Test Academy, and we can take all of that stress away so that you can focus only on areas that you need to.